If you're just joining, Avila bleep canned. I've been waiting years for this. What a time to be alive. Do I have any faith in Chris? Not really. But you know what? You walk before you can run. Now, let me provide you a few thoughts now that we've all gotten over the sportsgasm that just took place. My one thing that drives me insane is, as much as I'm thrilled he has nothing to do with baseball anymore, two notes that were shocking. A, he wasn't bumped upstairs. You know, you make Al Professor Emeritus or whatever of the team. They fired him. But the other thing that gets you is the timing. All jokes aside, and root for radio and the rest, why now? What difference does it make? Because realistically, the time to do this would have been before the deadline, certainly. But then you go to Tigers history, where Dave Dombrowski ran a draft and ran a trade deadline and then was fired. And who took over? Avila. And I won't be shocked in the least if history repeats itself, which is they're going to have an A.J. Hinch-approved internal hire. And my guess would be Menzen would be the guy who takes over. Now, would I like to see a complete search? Yeah, of course. Would I love to sit here on the air and be like, look, blank check, this is my offer to run my baseball team. Theo Epstein. Not going to happen. That's a dream sequence. Not going to happen. But I think this is the next step to A.J. Hinch being the de facto GM. And by de facto, I just mean heavier influence than he already has with someone he has a better relationship with than Al. Someone that he personally would want rather than Al. And whoever they hire, the key is they won't be a baseball dinosaur like Al. So it's a good day for Tiger fans, because I'll tell you right now, I don't know anyone who's calling into this show. I don't know any of these people personally. I'd hire all of them, and they couldn't have done worse than the 7-year reign of terror of Avila. Couldn't. Light the free agent money on fire in a less effective way than Al. You couldn't. Like, the only way it would have been worse is if one of my callers signed a dead guy. But at least the dead guy wouldn't have a negative WAR. It would just be zero. David, you're smiling. What please? Ticket tech. What do we have?
Today's a great day. It is a great day. And on the surface, my first thought and our thought, I think, is Theo Epstein. That's what we've been thinking for a long time. But I don't think that's what's happening.
Right. And Kenny's starring on Baywatch.
I don't think that's what's happening here.
And come on.
On the surface, I just have to have hope. I just have to have hope, because you're right. It can't get worse than what he's done in the last 7 years. So I just have to be hopeful that whatever happens next is better.
You don't think it's Hinch approved?
Oh, yeah, it's Hinch approved.
So it'll be someone AJ brought. He brought a gaggle of guys over in from the left coast. I would think, wouldn't it be Menzen?
I think it would be him. I think it really would be him, and that's why I still have hope, because AJ has to be heavily involved in this decision, and that's it. That has his
now
touch all over it.
Do you want the depressing part?
Oh, please no.
Okay, I'll save it. Let's just all enjoy the day then. I'll save it.
No, I want to hear it. Go ahead, give it to me.
Do you understand what a brutal situation the next guy's taking over? I mean, you are potentially stuck with 5 years of Baez. You are stuck with an Erod situation that is a complete dumpster fire. Your top prospect is a lot more Jared Kelenic than Julio Rodriguez. And you don't have any help on the way. There's nothing here. Jackson Jobe is not in the picture for at least 2 years. And, you know, Wilmer Flores is barely in that top 100. There's nothing here. I mean, it is, from a lineup standpoint, oof.
See, and that's what worries me on the surface, because what did Chris see now that he couldn't see to start the season?
David, I don't know. I don't. And again, we go to recent Tiger history. They have allowed a GM to run a deadline and run a draft only to fire him. Maybe it's just now they're handing it to Menzen and that's it. Would I have preferred an earlier move? Yeah. Yes, Kenny.
Could AJ have had his fingers in this and said, you know what, I'm putting my foot down. I can't stick around this organization if this guy's the one running it. If he's running another offseason, guess what? Well, I'm not going to be here for much longer.
Here, let me give you the headline. I can't prove that. However, do you remember when the Rosenthal report came out? Who wasn't mentioned in that report? And what pre-existing relationship authored that report? So I can't tell you I don't think the same thing, and I've said to you for months now. I've said it to the listeners. If I'm AJ, it's a him or me proposition. That's it. I don't need this. I don't even need to work. So, yes, can I be lying to my listeners if I didn't think that was true? And frankly, after they didn't come back with Correa, I thought that was largely a death nail into the relationship long term. That was gift wrapped to you. Gift wrapped. And you didn't do it. And now, if I'm AJ and I'm looking at this, I'm going, you either let me shop for the groceries or I'm gone. Yeah, why not? And AJ's influence in this organization is large. He's brought a lot of people into this organization. Clearly, they couldn't stay with Avila. And clearly, if you value AJ Hinch at all, you're going to hire somebody he's interested in working with. I'm not trying to turn him into Vince Lombardi here. But if I asked you what's the best thing about the Detroit Tigers, who are largely garbage, it's AJ Hinch. It's the best thing they have. No disrespect. Riley Green can't be it. He ain't even hitting 250. Torque stinks in Toledo. What's the best thing? Tarek Skubal? Fine. But you get my point. You're not going to Tarek Skubal for who's going to be the next GM. You are going to AJ Hinch. Otherwise, if Hinch isn't here, you know what you're getting as your next manager? Tram. You're getting Louis Pujols. No one big is coming here. Hinch is the best opportunity you have to have a high-caliber manager. Has he had a disappointing year? Absolutely. Has he done some really weird stuff? Yes. But by and large, the lineup card that he has been handed is a joke. It's a total joke. And that's on Al. The status of this franchise. It's on Al Avila. So now, hey, I don't envy the guy who's got to come in and clean this thing up.